October on Prime is pure chaos. From hotel demons and serial killers to the Conjuring finale, here's everything coming your way. Hell is back in business. Literally. Hazbin Hotel, Season 2, hits Prime on October 29th. Our protagonist Charlie is running Hell's first rehab center, which is basically like opening a vegan restaurant in Texas. Technically possible, but you're going to face some resistance from the locals. Season 2 cranks up the chaos with more songs than a Disney movie marathon and more profanity than a construction site in rush hour. But hey, at least it's consistent. Just like Hell itself, your mileage may vary, but you're definitely getting exactly what's advertised on the tin. The animation style screams, what if Tim Burton discovered Photoshop and had unlimited access to neon paint? So grab your holy water and check into the Hazbin Hotel this October, a 5-star show about a 0-star hotel. First up is The Conjuring: Last Rites, the movie that proves ghosts have better job security than most of us. So Ed and Lorraine Warren return for their next final case. You've got demonic activity, phantom dogs, and more late-night noises than a college dorm. This one is based on the real-life Smurl haunting. You know, the one where a demon supposedly tormented a family for over a decade. And of course, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are back, looking perpetually annoyed all the time. So if you're into heavy breathing, haunted furniture, and couples therapy with the undead, grab your crucifix. This one's for you. Shane Black's play, Dirty, drops October 1st. Streaming free with your Prime subscription, so you're definitely not paying extra to watch Mark Wahlberg pretend he understands human emotions. Mark plays Parker, a professional thief, who's like Robin Hood, except he keeps all the loot for himself. The movie is your classic heist flick, where our guy takes on the New York mob, a mysterious South American dictator, and the world's richest man, which honestly sounds like every direct-to-video action movie Steven Seagal ever starred in. Shane Black adapted this from the Parker book series. A nice way to let you know there's probably a sequel waiting in the wings. If you need something to watch, while you pretend October isn't just Netflix's rejected September content, Play Dirty might just scratch that itch. October brings us John Candy, I Like Me, on Prime Video, directed by Colin Hanks and produced by Ryan Reynolds. This doc dives into how Candy became the king of lovable losers, back when comedy specials weren't just people complaining about pronouns. The man could make you laugh, cry, and crave a bacon cheeseburger all in one scene. Now that's not just comedy, that's pure love. On a serious note, it tackles his struggles with fame, weight, and the pressure of always being on, using archival footage and interviews from comedy legends like Tom Hanks and Bill Murray. It's a genuine, heartfelt tribute to a man whose talent was as big as his heart. Back from the Dead is Prime Video's new miniseries, Harlan Coben's Lazarus. It stars Sam Claflin as a forensic psychologist. You know, one of those jobs that only exists so TV writers can have characters dramatically analyze murder scenes while having zero actual qualifications. The plot revolves around Claflin's character investigating whether his father's suicide connects to his sister's murder from 25 years ago, because apparently in the Coben universe, no one just dies of natural causes. The story is a jumble of family secrets, plot holes from 25 years ago, and a man slowly losing his mind. It's basically The Sixth Sense, but instead of a kid seeing dead people, I just wish he saw some common sense. Coming up next is the movie aptly named Maintenance Required, which is the same sign you see on most public restrooms. It follows Charlie, played by Madeline Petch, who's apparently the only mechanic in movie history, who looks like she just stepped out of a shampoo commercial. Jacob Scipio is the corporate villain / love interest out to cannibalize her business through the power of spreadsheets. They've been passionately chatting online without knowing each other's identities, which on the local news is known as catfishing. It's got all the classic rom-com beats: a hot guy, a hot girl, and a whole lot of negging. So mark October 8th on your calendars for this Prime exclusive, because nothing says quality entertainment like watching two attractive people try to solve capitalism through the power of sexual tension. Welcome to Eden, a survival thriller where a group of idealists ditch 1920s Germany for the Floriana Island, dreaming of paradise, but ending up in a twisted real-life Lord of the Flies. It tells the true story of settlers who escape a chaotic world only to face their worst challenge: each other. Jude Law, Vanessa Kirby, and Sydney Sweeney ditch civilization for a remote island. But then the Baroness, Ana de Armas, arrives with flowing gowns, lovers, and a 5-star fantasy, instantly turning the place into a tropical social war zone. Downton Abbey returns for the grand finale, a chilling story of wealth, tradition, and the real monster, pure boredom. This is high society at its scariest, when the drama is tighter than Lady Mary's corset. It's the perfect film for anyone who thinks a strained facial expression is a compelling plot twist. After 6 seasons and 2 movies, the Crawleys return for one last dose of absolutely nothing. It's basically 2 hours of polite staring contests and extremely slow, emotional meltdowns. If you wanted a thriller, watch the stock market crash instead. Naturally, after a movie about negging, we take the next logical step: gaslighting. Tessa Thompson stars as Hedda, a woman so bored by her perfect life, she decides to emotionally torture everyone around her, just for sport. It's basically Mean Girls meets Downton Abbey, but with way more passive-aggressive insults and lipstick. Directed by Nia DaCosta, the whole film is like watching a dinner party, where the clueless husband's in denial, the hot ex is causing chaos, and the flirting is feistier than a single mom's convention. So if you're into period dramas where boredom and betrayal are the real stars, catch Hedda on Prime Video October 29th. October 6th brings Killer in the Family to Prime Video, the true crime special that proves that blood may be thicker than water, but apparently it's also a lot easier to spill. Based on a YouTube series that did so well, Prime decided to monetize human tragedy because nothing says quality content like putting a subscription fee on other people's worst nightmares. This show is a deep dive into some of the most diabolical domestic disturbances you'll ever witness, proving once and for all that a family that slays together stays in jail together. Get ready for the return of your favorite reformed felons in The Bad Guys 2. The Bad Guys 2 is your animated heist fest of the summer. This time the gang's trying to be good again. But when the city needs saving, it's time for disguises, gadgets, and a whole lot of chaos. And the banter is as sharp as ever. Best of all, you don't need to rewatch the first one to dive right in. October on Prime Video brings us Raoul Moat, Inside the Mind of a Killer, another cheerful documentary about Britain's most wanted man who put the psycho in psychopath. It explores themes of masculinity, violence, and mistaking Grand Theft Auto for a lifestyle choice. The doc promises to build a psychological profile using Moat's own recorded tapes, basically like letting Jeffrey Dahmer narrate his own cooking show. October serves us Our Fault, the third and mercifully final chapter of the Spanish trilogy that's had teenage girls crying into their phones since 2023. This is love through Google Translate. Step-siblings Noah and Nick, months after a breakup, end up stuck together at a wedding and must decide if their forbidden love is worth the drama. If you liked the first 2 films or are fond of taking aspirin, Our Fault drops October 16th on Prime. So, that's our roundup of what's new. For more questionable reviews and savage breakdowns, subscribe and check out our other videos. Check back next week for your weekly dose of movie madness, and as always, let's get watching.